Since I was 10 years old, I knew wrestling was my calling, my sole purpose, my everything. And I always told my mom I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and then I would watch it with her, and she'd be like, "That's what you want to do?"
What is wrong with you?
She's watching the bra and panties matches with me in the mud fight. She goes, "That's what you want to do? What did I do wrong to raise you like this? I don't want you to do this." I'm like, "No, Mom, not that. Watch the next match. Watch Eddie Guerrero. I want to do that, but the female form." And I've always just manifested that dream of just being a professional wrestling. Like, that saved my life as a kid. I needed wrestling. But I didn't know how I was going to get there because I watched the women growing up and I was like, I don't look like them. I don't look like a model. I don't have the big boobs. I don't have the beauty. But I knew I had something.
Debatable. That's debatable.
I grew into that.
I think you're a very beautiful woman.
I grew into that.
So you were an ugly duckling?
I didn't believe I was pretty.
Okay, make that stipulation.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't feel like I was what I saw on TV.
Okay.
I couldn't relate. I was different. I was a mixed girl living in Iowa. I was the only black girl in my town. Like, I just didn't fit in. So I didn't know where I was going to fit into the world of wrestling, especially on TV. But I knew I had this dream of, I wanted to change the definition of what it meant to be a diva. So when I came to the WWE, they were still doing like a little bit of bra and panties. Like, this was like where, like, the near end of it. And I remember when I got signed, I bought so many push-up bras and so many swimsuits with push-ups in it, because I'm like, we're probably gonna have to do a dance contest, a bikini contest, and I'm just like, Mercedes, you're gonna do your best, but show them that you wanna be a wrestler. And within those, like, that month I signed to FCW, things just started to change. They were letting us be more wrestlers, but we were training. I said, well, you can't strike like the guys. We still want hair pulling. We still want you guys to look girly. And then I feel like once Triple H came down to NXT and switched it, and Dusty Rhodes, like, really had so much passion for his students that he was teaching.
I love Dusty.
And William Regal, I feel like those were the three that were just like, you know what, let's give the women an opportunity to show that they can shine. And the first ever women's match that I saw at NXT was like Paige and Emma, and they had like 20 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen that. I want that. I have a drive for this. And then eventually I just kept going and going and going until I had a four-way match with Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley, and the fans said that we stole that show. We stole that. Like, we had the greatest match then, and then I became NXT Women's Champion and had that match with Bayley and Barclays. And I feel like after that match, women's wrestling kind of just elevated and changed.
You changed the landscape. You really did.
Crazy.
Do you know who and a lot of people don't realize this, who my favorite all-time wrestler is?
Female or male?
Wrestler.
Is it going to be Eddie Guerrero? Who? I don't know.
Manami Toyota. Manami Toyota.
No way.
Is my favorite.
That's my...
She is my GOAT.
Oh my God.
You know? And it's funny because when people say, you know, like on social media, you know, Charlotte's the greatest of all time. I said, you spell Manami Toyota right.
Yes.
No shade to Charlotte. I absolutely love Charlotte. Yeah. But, you know, my GOAT is Manami Toyota. And my introduction to Japanese wrestling via Norman Smiley was Manami Toyota.
Versus
and I remember,
Akira or Aja?
No, actually it was a tag match.
Okay.
And it was the first time I'd ever seen that kind of wrestling, let alone women doing that. And I'm watching the violence in this match. And when it was who was her partner? I think it was Aja. And then I just remember on the finish, I stood up and I looked at Norman and I went, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He goes, sit down. That was just the first fall.
Yeah.
Wow. What? There's more?
There's more.
So, yeah, Manami Toyota is my absolute favorite.
Mine too. I started watching Japanese women's wrestling when I was 13 because I started going to online school. And I didn't go to online school. I went to YouTube and I went to forums to download matches and just watch matches all day when I was supposed to be studying. And I saw Japanese women's wrestling and I was like, whoa, wait, what?
What is this?
Women can actually fight and it's an all-women show and they're main eventing and they're bleeding and they're jumping off the top rope, they're diving, they're doing so many stuff. I'm like, I've never seen this, but this is what I dreamt. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to see on American TV. This is what I want to show my mom that I want to do. Which is so crazy. And I just watched Japanese women's wrestling like, I want to be in Japan one day. I want to go to Mexico one day. But I got the call from WWE first. So, which I'm very thankful because I've learned so much. I've grown so much being with the WWE. But It's so cool you saying Manami is your favorite too, because that was my absolute favorite.
You said as we were coming in here talking about your dream